Welcome to the Oregon Convention Center. I'm Nick Miles, and this is a special Coin 6 presentation. Behind me, all the cars, trucks, and SUVs are being assembled for this year's Portland International Auto Show. We're going to get a sneak peek of some of this year's cars on display. Well, here is my car of the year, the Volvo XC90. Volvo amazed the public and the media with a vehicle that deserves all the awards it has won this year, with multiple powertrains, including a plug-in hybrid. It starts at just under $44,000, and check all the boxes, we'll get it above $70,000. It comes in 4 trim levels and competes against the Germans and the Japanese in a tight market space. It doesn't get any more premium than the Mercedes-Benz Maybach S600. It starts just short of $190,000. Yes, that's right, the price of a small house. But you've never seen a house quite like this. It looks impressive, but what's under the hood? That's even more impressive. It's powered by a 6-liter bi-turbo V12, 523 horsepower, and an impressive 0 to 60 miles an hour of just 5 seconds. The cabin on the inside is overwhelming with high-quality luxury materials and the technology that Mercedes is well known for. Exotic handcrafted wood trim are offset by crisp aluminium accents. Extended ambient lighting in the rear cabin is both elegant and very eye-catching. And because your car may not always smell how you want it, the S600 now comes with a standard fragrance atomizer that gives you any of 5 available aromas. That's right, now you can choose how your Maybach smells. From the biggest luxury to the smallest luxury. Well, it's not that small. Mini has grown to produce the biggest Mini ever. Welcome back, the Clubman. Originally produced as an estate car version of the Mini in the 1960s, it has been brought back to America because of popular demand by Mini owners. This is definitely the most sophisticated and highest quality Mini to date. All the Mini features with added room and technology. The Clubman can leave a showroom for just over $24,000, and if you want to add a bigger engine, look for a price of just short of $30,000. Mini still sips gas with a highway fuel economy of 35 miles a gallon and the choice of a 1.5-litre 3-cylinder engine or a 2-litre 4-cylinder engine. Just in time for the summer, Mini will cut its top off at the Portland Auto Show, displaying the new Mini convertible. It won't arrive in showrooms until later in 2016, but it will be front and center of the Portland International Auto Show. Be one of the first to see this new convertible family member. Another new family member hits the Portland show, the Jaguar XE. Jaguar are getting into a new space with the XE to compete with cars like the BMW 3 Series. Starting at under $35,000, it comes in a variety of engine choices. For those who are mindful of economic driving, a 180 horsepower diesel engine or a 240 horsepower 2-liter gasoline engine are available. For the more adventurous driver, step it up to a V6 delivering 340 horsepower. Designed to reflect the iconic Jaguar F-Type, this aerodynamic model is a new space for the British car company. Jaguar have always been a cutting-edge car company when it comes to technology. They were the first car company to use flash in their cars. They've pioneered technology, projecting images onto windshields to give the driver information without taking his eyes off of the road. Jaguar even have a highly sophisticated lab in Portland where they cooperate with Intel on what the car tech of the future will be. So it's no big surprise that they introduced some groundbreaking technologies in their new XF. It's all centered around their new infotainment system called InControl InTouch Pro. Stephen Bolter is an engineering project manager for the Jaguar XF.
Huge 10.2-inch touchscreen, really fast. You've got gesture control such as pinch and zoom, really intuitive for users.
But to keep the driver safe, Jaguar have included some clever software that allows the car to communicate with their loved ones so you don't have to worry about it and you can pay attention to your driving instead.
Text a number that you place in, so it could be your wife, your family. If you're stuck in traffic, rather than try and call them and say you're going to be late, just sends them a text message and says what your ETA is going to be.
And if you're more than 10 minutes late, the system will automatically give them updates. It'll say, "I'm sorry, Nick's stuck in traffic," and then give them my new ETA. Now all I need it to do is tell my loved ones how I want my steak cooked. The hottest segment of luxury cars is the compact SUV. It's fast growing and BMW has always dominated in this segment, but some companies are now challenging the BMW dominance. Porsche is the perfect example. They're pushing to gain attention for the new Macan. If you've ever wanted a Porsche Cayenne but it's always been too big, the Macan might be the perfect size of SUV and shares the same basic platform and construction as its sister, the Audi Q5. But when it comes to performance, the Macan breaks ahead of its sibling. The Macan is much more capable on-road. Faster, it handles like a Porsche. V6 and a 7-speed transmission let you push the car harder than many other cars in the class. Some have criticized the soft brakes and numb feeling, which it has. And be careful when you fill out the options at the dealership. The price can get away from you. However, it's worthy of the Porsche family name. It would not be a luxury show without Cadillac. The new CTS will arrive at this year's show. Starting at just under $46,000, it comes in 5 different configurations and gets up to 31 miles a gallon on the highway.
So many premium vehicles at the Oregon Convention Center, I feel like royalty. Now, recently, Jaguar Land Rover relocated their Future Tech Center to the Pearl District, and they'll be at the Oregon Convention Center with what they've been working on lately.
If you're out for a stroll in the Pearl District and you just happen to walk past this building, you'd have very little idea that it is where the future of car tech is being designed. This small yellow building is the home to British automotive giant's Future Technology Center. When you sit in a Jaguar or a Land Rover at the Portland International Auto Show, think that the future of technologies in these cars will be created right here in our town. To develop the car of the future, Jaguar Land Rover are learning more about the human race. What do we do? And why do we do it? This helps them have a better idea of what we will require in our future cars. Matt Jones is head of future infotainment at Jaguar Land Rover, and we asked him what they're looking for in the needs of the future car.
What would you actually want to do, and how would you want the car to react and respond to you? Because it might be quite different to the driving position you have today.
These future tech wizards have created over-the-air updates for car software. Imagine never having to go into a dealer to update your car's software. When they find a bug, they just fix it instantaneously. Jaguar Land Rover have connected a tablet to the car to control some of its functions, adjusting settings in real time right from the tablet. Applications for this are far-reaching. Let your imagination do the rest, but starting your car and making adjustments to its environment right from your bed is just the beginning. The latest project will include some new technologies from Intel. Imagine having full control and eyes on your car right from your smartphone. You can learn more about the technology in existing Jaguars and Land Rovers at this year's Portland International Auto Show. Land Rover have been showing off some future technologies for the autonomous car. A remote-controlled Range Rover research vehicle demonstrates how the driver could drive the vehicle from outside the car via a smartphone. The smartphone app includes control of the steering, acceleration, and brakes. That will allow the driver to walk alongside the car at a maximum speed of 4 miles an hour to maneuver their car out of challenging situations safely, or even to negotiate difficult off-road terrain. Some of the future technologies that Jaguar Land Rover have championed include using the full windshield as a projector. Now the disappearing hood or bonnet idea is famous. Using cameras embedded in the bumper, images are projected onto the windshield, making the bonnet disappear so you can see the road. And with some of the same principles applied to the racetrack, you can now get the best line of travel and find which lane you should be in for navigation. Now, some of the best news from the Portland International Auto Show will be outside the convention center. Here you'll be able to experience a city-built off-road course.
When our preview of the Portland International Auto Show continues, we're going to meet Project Tyrant. This is a Baja 1000 vehicle that you can live in for a week, and we'll meet the team that built it. Welcome back to our preview of the Portland International Auto Show. I'm Nick Miles. The more time we spend in our cars, the more connected that we want to be. The more we want to be on top of things like communications and our maintenance. Now, car companies are showing off their latest, sexiest tech at this year's show.
Listed as a high anxiety for parents is the teenage driver. How do you keep them safe, and how do you know how they drive when you're not sitting next to them in the car? Well, thanks to some new technologies from Chevrolet, parents can worry less.
Well, in the teen driver mode, when it is activated, the first thing that happens when you go ahead and start the car is that you'll notice that the audio is muted until all the seatbelts are fastened.
Chevy have a suite of teenage driving safety features in the new Malibu. It'll be on display at this year's Portland International Auto Show. By programming a special key, driving reports will be available at the end of each journey. This isn't supposed to be a big brother operation. It's so parents can sit down with their teenage child and help them understand better how to drive safer. It's a shared experience for the family in making safer and more adult choices. Chevrolet took the time to test the system with teens and parents, finding that teens worked harder at being better drivers. One small tool can take away a parent's anxiety. Get a demonstration and learn more in the Chevrolet booth at this year's show. One of the biggest technologies that is appearing in many modern cars is Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. No longer do you have a high-end infotainment system in your vehicle, but plug in your smartphone and all of its features will appear on your screen in your car. This is something you'll find in the new VW Passat. Some of the features that you're already familiar with on your smartphone now become features that you can use in everyday driving. And research shows that you spend more time attending to your driving habits and the road and less time attending to features in the car when you're familiar with how it works. We've seen it in many concept cars, but it's a reality in the new Audi TT. Gone are the mechanical gauges, replaced by a virtual dashboard. Light, high definition, and customizable, it's another feature that allows the driver to spend less time on the gauges and more time with his or her eyes on the road. A high-intensity screen allows you to see navigation, speed, and the necessary information which you can select, making your driving experience much more pleasurable. Make some time to see the new Audi TT in the Audi booth. Also, make sure you have time to check out the new Audi A7. This Audi has a futuristic self-parking feature technology that doesn't need a driver. Parking in Portland can sometimes be a stressful task. At this year's show, Audi is showing off the future where you get out of your car and head to your destination while the car takes care of the parking. Laser headlights are a new feature of the modern car, but Infiniti is using laser controls to keep you safe while on the road. I'm up for driving anything that has lasers, and you can check it out at the Infiniti booth this year.
Now, for this year's Portland International Auto Show, I put together a very special project vehicle. It's a Baja 1000 style vehicle, and it has 4 different rules. Rule number 1, it has to be drivable at freeway speeds. Rule number 2, it has to be economical to operate. Rule number 3, it has to be able to complete the Baja 1000. And rule number 4, you have to be able to live in it for a week. So check out what we did.
Last year we showed Project Discovery, our luxury dog transportation. But this year it's more about adventures with the family. Together with a crack team of specialists, Project Tyrant is definitely this year's show monster. Brian Socia and the team from Certified Automotive Repair in Salem got our 1999 Chevy Suburban ready to roll.
Actually, the vehicle itself wasn't too bad condition. The body was straight. The biggest thing that came in with the blown engine. Put Borla exhaust on there for some free-flowing breathing.
To help the dinosaur theme, the team from Lund Industries added a few extras. No monster truck would be a dinosaur without a suspension lift. We added just over 6 inches with this BDS suspension kit. The Tyrannosaurus Rex, which this project is named for, is big and bold. MKW M93 off-road wheels, mounted and secured by Wheelcraft, round out the look of the vehicle. For the audio and interior tech, we turn to the Northwest's premier automotive fitters and suppliers, Mobile West. Peter and the team engineered the entertainment.
We did a couple elements. First thing we did is we did a modern audio video smartphone integrated safety system. We put an Apple CarPlay deck in, and we did a mild audio upgrade that is about the same price of what the factory optional systems are, but it gives much better performance.
But being a full-service aftermarket company, Mobile West also attacked the inside of Project Tyrant.
We did custom hand sewn inserts in the seats with kind of a dragon scale.
The team at MXC Media in Vancouver designed the exterior and wrapped the Project Tyrant with a carbon fiber dragon dinosaur theme.
We looked up a lot of reptiles and just used a lot of scale pattern. And then what we did was we coordinated here with Peter at Mobile West and just matched the scale of his scales from the inside of the leather to the outside of the leather so it would have a cohesive look.
And finally, one more thing to beef up the vehicle on its way to the Portland International Auto Show. The boys from Hard Notched Customs rugified up Project Tyrant with some of their best work, exterior body modifications. They've been practicing their art for years, and they put their best work into this year's project.
We are doing a front pre-runner bumper with a 30-inch light bar off the brush guard. It's going to be a winch-ready front and also a winch-ready rear. Then also a custom roof racks, fire racks for it.
And finally, the beast is complete. It's now on display at this year's Portland International Auto Show.
When we return, we'll take a look at the American workhorse, the truck, and we'll look at those cars that are small, fast, and furious. All that and much more when we return. Welcome to our coverage of the Portland International Auto Show. I'm Nick Miles. About 20% of the vehicles sold in the United States are commercial vehicles. That's about 3 million. They haul things, deliver things, and take things wherever we need them to go. And they have some of the best displays of trucks at this year's show.
So let's get to the best-selling truck in Oregon. It's the Ram 1500. Now, Ram came out of the gate with this vehicle ready to win. The company already had a loyal following, and when they made this new vehicle with the diesel, their fans increased. It seems like a luxury truck rather than a big work rig. I'm not ashamed to say that this is my favorite when it comes to drivability, and the diesel engine makes all that truck affordable. 305 horsepower and a 3.6-litre V6 engine is standard. You can jump to the 395 horsepower 5.7-litre V8 or that diesel engine, which is turbo diesel, a V6 outputting 240 horsepower. They're all teamed up with an 8-speed transmission, and if you're ready to tow and haul, this truck can do it. At this year's show is a full luxury truck, the GMC Sierra 1500. This is specially made for those that want to use their truck for work and play and every day. With 4G Wi-Fi hotspot, it keeps everybody in the vehicle well connected. Finally, it was a nominee for North American Truck of the Year, the new Nissan Titan XD with a Cummins diesel engine. The engine is a 5-litre V8 turbo diesel that produces 310 horsepower, and you can get a choice of either rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive.
Now, whether you're hauling a load around the farm or hauling a load down the freeway, there are many trucks to look at the Portland International Auto Show. There's another class of car. They are all about the thrill of the ride. They are the fast and furious vehicles, and at the Portland International Auto Show, we have a lot to choose from.
My favorite has got to be the Dodge Challenger Hellcat. 707 horsepower and unbelievable speed. It comes with 2 keys, one black that gives you 500 horsepower and one red that takes it all the way to 707. And the new 2017 Audi R8 is sure to be a crowd pleaser. If it's all-wheel drive speed you need, Nissan will be at the Portland International Auto Show with their GTR.
Now, I've already made a list of cars that I want to buy when I win the lottery, but there's so much more at this year's Portland International Auto Show. When we return, we'll show you some of the must-see items at this year's show. If I was to say to you like Maserati, Ferrari and Alfa Romeo, I know your heart is already racing. Now, the exotic cars on display at this year's Portland International Auto Show is absolutely unbelievable. And they're all on display in one single area called the Luxury Loft.
There are millions of dollars of exotic cars at this year's show, but here are the three you must not miss. The Porsche 918 Spyder, a plug-in hybrid with 887 horsepower. The Ferrari California, a 2+2 hardtop convertible that will make any garage sigh. And the Rolls-Royce Ghost 2. If you're going to go big, go Rolls-Royce, the best luxury car in the world. Okay, before we run out of time in the show, let's check out some of the must-see cars, trucks, and SUVs. Don't miss the Chrysler Pacifica plug-in minivan that was revealed at Detroit and will get 80 miles per gallon equivalent. The Toyota Back to the Future Tacoma concept, the Mazda MX-5 Miata, and the new Toyota Prius.
Those are some of the cars, trucks and SUVs on display at this year's Portland International Auto Show. You know, we've hardly scratched the surface. We want you to come down and enjoy yourself. In fact, the fun begins as you walk through the doors of the Oregon Convention Center. So come down and say hi, and we'll look forward to seeing you.